Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Portland Golf Show at the Expo Center here in North Portland. I'm Jeff Tracy, your host today of the special edition of Grilling at the Green. First day of the show, great show. Lots of people, lots of excitement here at the show. We've got Dick Stevens coming up, who's the promoter of the show from Varsity Communications. We've also got several other people that are going to be with us this hour. So that's something to really look forward to. As long as we got a few seconds here, I want to thank a couple of the sponsors we've got. Excuse me. Weston Kia in Gresham, Oregon, Portland's #1 Kia dealer. The folks at Weston Kia do things the right way. That's the Weston way. I've known these guys my whole life. Go out to the dealership in Gresham and take a test drive, or go to westonkia.com and check out all the cars they've got available. And we want to thank them for supporting this show. And also Birdie Ball, my friend John Breaker and his crew back in Evergreen, Colorado. The Birdie Ball flies about 40 yards. In fact, you can see one right here in front of my microphone. If you've never had one or hit one, you should try it. They're great to practice with. I have several that I use in my backyard, and they're light and airy, but they will tell you if you're hitting your shots true. Also, I don't know if you know this. Most people know Birdie Ball for their actual birdie balls, but they make a great amount of mats, different sizes, different shapes, things like that. In fact, my Golf Spy awarded them the most wanted mat back in 2022. So you can go to birdieball.com and find out more about their mats. In fact, we're going to be giving away a special mat here that John sent me at the end of the show for somebody. You're going to have a pretty big hallway in your house to use it, but it's really good. And also Snell golf balls, performance you can count on. And you can also take your savings from the Snell golf balls and keep it in the bank. The team at Snell has one solitary mission, and that's to bring tour caliber equipment to the amateur golfer at an affordable price. Their experience in R&D, along with their strategic manufacturing, and they go direct to consumer only. You go to Snell.com about that. If you didn't know that, Dean Snell was one of the co-creators of the Pro V1, and he also did work for TaylorMade. So it's very cool that Dean is there. Anyway, we've got James Hafer. Nice to see you, James.
Nice to be here. Thank you, Jeff.
James is my next door neighbor here, and it's from Salmon Creek. That's just north of Portland, across the river. Indoor golf. Tell us about your facility.
Yeah. So we actually aren't open yet. Need to move this down?
No, you're fine.
Perfect. Yeah, we're really excited to be here. It's our first year at the golf show. We're a new business coming to town, but we are going to be an indoor simulator company.
Okay. And is it going to be where people can come practice, come play, have tournaments? What are they doing?
The beauty is you can be all of that. Yeah. We got into this originally because I have a young son, 2 years old, and I saw my outdoor golf dropping precipitously. And I was trying to find a way to keep golf involved in my life. And right. I seem to always be available at 9 p.m. at night, and there's nothing open. No golf to be played, definitely not outdoors.
Right.
And got into indoor golf as the solution, because I can play more quickly. I can play by myself in about an hour, get the practice in.
Are you a speed golfer? Is that the deal?
Not when I need to be. I would say move pretty slowly. But again, with simulator, you're not chasing your ball. You're not going rough. You're not having to chase things down. You're just hitting repeatedly from the same location. And so my father-in-law is my partner, but we got into this for that exact reason, where if you want to go and play a course like I usually do and want to score and want to play some of the best courses in the world, you can come to our facility and do that. If you're trying to hit the range and learn more about your stroke and improve your speed and get more of the data around your style of golf, TrackMan is our partner from our launch monitor perspective. So you're going to have all the data at your disposal around how you're hitting, why you're hitting that way, and how to get better. And we will have tournaments and leagues eventually as we continue to fill up our membership. So if you're into competing in that way, that will also be available to you.
The courses, can you select the different courses?
You can select. We will start with about 270 courses.
Yeah.
Most of the biggest names that you see out there, most of the courses you see the pros playing on, your Bethpage Blacks, your Pebble Beaches,
right,
your Whistlers, all that fun stuff. So if you want to go around, St. Andrews, I think, is a really popular one for TrackMan. So you don't want to go to Scotland and go and play? You can come to the simulator and play it yourself, see how you would score.
Why wouldn't you want to go to Scotland, though?
I mean, I want to go to Scotland, but if
Okay.
you're on a budget, you can. It's a lot easier to drive up and down the road and come over to the golf club.
So what do people play for coming in and playing the simulators?
What do they pay?
What do they pay? Did I say play? I meant
Yeah,
pay.
yeah.
Play to pay.
Right. But they do. Yeah, you pay to play. So we're doing a slightly different style. We're doing membership-based pricing. So you sign up for a membership. We have 2 tiers. You're not paying by the hour. You're paying for a set of hours ahead of time. We have 2 tiers. One is more of your I want to commit to 2 hours.
Right.
And that's our silver membership. But then we also have a gold membership, which gets you 2 hours on the weekend, but unlimited golf on the weekdays.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
If you're retired or like me and you have availability at 9 p.m. every night after your child goes down, come into the facility, play as much as you want. We want to see you there.
So did you test drive TrackMan like in your garage or something?
Well, it's funny. My father-in-law is my partner, and he bought a house with a third bay specifically to get a simulator in there so we could get his grandson, my son, involved in golf early. And it didn't fit. Didn't have enough space. And that's how we got into this venture. My brother-in-law has 3 of these facilities in New Jersey. So we've played on the TrackMan there. We love the feel and the vibe of TrackMan. We're using their newest technology called their TrackMan IO, which is as soon as you swing, the ball is moving instantaneously on the simulator. So very immersive experience that feels like you're playing on a course.
I didn't know they played golf in New Jersey.
Right? I know. Can you even believe it? They have the same atmospheric issues that we do over here. They got a lot of snow. So
a lot of snow.
They run into the same issues where you can't always play year round.
Is like a TrackMan, from your perspective, as you're doing this as a business and you're not a golf pro, you're not a coach or anything like that, what can people really look to ascertain from that? I mean, they're kind of being, I don't want to say self-taught, but a lot of that data can get way off into the weeds.
For sure. Yeah, I think for someone like myself, I've always been an athlete, so I want that data at my disposal because it's going to help me learn what I'm doing wrong. We're in talks right now with a couple of local pros in the area. The eventual goal is to have someone that is more qualified to interpret that data and help you as the individual improve your game. Someone that has been doing this for a long time, that has played at that highest level, that can interpret the data, whatever it may be, is going to help take your game to the next level. But there are a lot of people that do that research on their own and want to do that on their own time, internalize that data, and that's what TrackMan's giving you, is access to that. They have an app where you'll be able to download and save every single shot that you take on the simulator, and it'll all be at your disposal.
I'm just happy when the ball goes forward.
Right.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Not
exactly. Yeah.
Like
who cares how fast it went there? It went forward.
That, I think you reach a certain stage in your life, James. I guess you could say I'm showing my age. That you're not worried about ball speed. You're just trying to keep it in play.
Yep. Absolutely. And that's the beauty of the indoor golf is we're going to have men and women who are maybe more of that grinding style that want that data because that extra speed gets them an extra 10, 20, 30 yards on their drive. If you've moved past that, what you might do is you might try to work through all 270 courses that we have available to play on. You're going to go try to play. You just want to enjoy yourself. You're going to get your friend. You're going to play together. It's going to be more of a casual time. And the nice thing is with simulator golf, it appeals to everyone. We can accommodate whatever style that you want to play at.
Have you had success so far? I mean, the show's only been open 2 hours. So
it's only been open 2 hours. I mean, honestly, for a business that isn't open yet, we don't open for another about 60 days. The number of people that have stopped by is really impressive. The golf show itself has a lot of people milling around for a Friday morning or Friday afternoon, I guess we are here now.
Yeah.
So, excited to talk to people, excited to drum up some excitement, and just really excited to get our name out there.
I like it. You might have to just spot me a membership, though. But I live 50 miles away, so
Okay, yeah, we might not see you that often, but happy to do so.
What you talked about your kid, and we've all done that. Golf kind of goes by the wayside, that type of thing. When was the part that you said, "I got to do this"?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like a serial wannabe entrepreneur, and I think part of it was just finding something I was passionate enough about to take that leap. And again, for me, I was a collegiate baseball player. I played disc golf professionally, randomly. I've always been like an athlete in that way. And so I love my son. I love my family. It's something that we will definitely share together, is trying to find that balance between who I am as a person and who I am as a family unit. And so, yeah, it was kind of when he was 1, and I just sort of found myself at the house a lot more than I expected, having been involved in sports my entire life.
Right.
And this will be an opportunity now he's walking and talking and has a personality that once we're up and running, you will see both of us at the simulator. So it was probably about a year ago when we really kicked off the process, now going through all of the permitting, the registering the business, all the fun stuff. We have website, we have flyers, now working with all the subcontractors to get make sure we have air conditioning at the facility in the summertime. So it's a long process, learning a lot about being a business owner along the way, but we're getting closer. Really excited to get it open and share it with everybody.
Does your wife play?
She played a lot more as well before having children. My in-laws all have a little tournament they do with themselves. They call it the Family Cup. So all golfers in my in-laws family, I think we'll see her at the simulator facility as well.
What's on the line at the Family Cup?
Pride. And then we actually do have a makeshift trophy that we pass around depending on who wins the tournament. So last year we were down in Bend playing at Troon and Troon was down in Arizona. So that was a couple years ago. So we pop around to different courses around the country, have like a 3-day tournament playoff weekend. And so you get the Vukanovich Cup, you get the trophy, you get Pride for a year. And so that's always a lot of fun. We'll now be able to do it at the indoor golf club.
Well, very cool. Very cool. I wish you a lot of luck with that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's I've known some people that started and had good success with it, and other people that, I don't know, maybe they had trouble marketing it or something, promoting it.
Right.
And kind of, I don't want to say fell by the wayside, but I think they lost interest in it.
Yeah.
So I'm always interested when new people come around.
Yeah.
How many bays do you have there, by the way? I meant to ask you.
Yeah. We're going to have 2 bays. So our facility's rather small, about 1,400 square feet, but we'll have 2 bays, both supported by TrackMan and their newest IO technology. We'll have probably a little putting green in there. So if you get there a little early and want to work on your short game, that'll be available. Our eventual goal is to have more of these facilities in the area. Our thought process behind our business model is we want this to be very communal.
Yeah.
We want this to be your local place that you go to play. We want you not having to drive 50 miles to play golf. We want to have one in your locality that you go to play at. You're going to see the same people. So eventually we'll have one where I'm from in Ridgefield, possibly one in Inner Vancouver. The goal is to have smaller facilities, more community-based, and really get to know the people that you're playing with and people that are at the golf clubs.
I've got a golf practice area in my backyard.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
you don't need one.
I've got a big net, and I've got a birdie ball putting green back there that we use on the television show, and it works out really good. All I got to do is get out of my office and get back there. That's the tough part.
Easier said than done. Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
up here, the weather.
Right.
Yeah, it's all that. But
yep. And not everyone has the space, and that's the beauty of the indoor setup. Is if you don't have the space, if you don't have the ability to put a net, or you don't have that large enough garage to put a net even in your garage,
right?
The simulator setup gets you out of the elements, gets you into the practice facility, and accommodates whatever you're feeling that day, whether it's practice or play.
No, I agree. Well, thank you for walking over here 12 feet.
It was a long walk from my booth.
But I wish you a lot of luck with that.
Yeah.
And we're going to have, before you leave, we're going to have Dave Grill coming up from Delta Putt. And we've got, hold on, I want to say his name correctly here. We've got Paul Marshall coming up from the First Tee program in Portland. Great. And Dick Stevens might show up here. I know he got called away to do something. He's the show manager here. Mm-hmm. So he got called away to do something. He's voice,
always on the mic. Yeah,
he's always on the microphone talking about people. Introducing people is like Bruce Springsteen's right-hand man or something like that. So he always does that. Anyway, it's good to see you, Jason.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You anytime, man, anytime. I want to thank a couple more of our sponsors here. Carsley Golf. If you see this thing right in front of us, this is the Reimer. And it helps you with your putting stance and your driving stance and your wedges and everything else. That's the biggest thing for people is getting their stance right so that they can comfortably hit the ball and, try to get the expected reaction there. So with the Rhymer, you'll make more short putts, you'll make more medium range, longer putts. You'll be a better wedge player if you've got your feet on the ground with them. And also, we want to thank Birdie Wrap. Oh, let me get my paper out here. If you got hot spots on your fingers, like I get sometimes when you're golfing, not on my glove hand, but my other hand, like that, I get them on my knuckles. I used to put the Tiger tape on there. Everybody's watched Tiger. Wrap tape around his fingers and stuff and do that. Well, we've got Birdie Wrap, and Birdie Wrap is soft, it's flexible, keeps the water out too. I've played in the pouring rain with it, and it still works. And you don't want to get irritated by those small nicks and cuts on your hands there. So I would go to birdiewrap.com and take a look at what they've got. They sell it online. It's in a few stores around the country, but it's mostly hand me that thing of Birdie Wrap there, would you? Thanks, Pete. This is what it looks like. There's the camera. That's what it looks like. You wrap it right around your finger, and keeps your fingers from getting sore. So that. And finally, we've got Delta Putt. In fact, Dave Grill's going to be coming up here in just a minute. Dave is an engineer, and you look at this thing, and he calls it the puck. It looks like a triangle. And he's got a map that it runs down. And Dave's been doing this for a number of years now. And I thought it would be like a piece of cake. It wasn't. And so, but if you practice with Delta Putt, you can get your putting down pretty good, smooth your stroke out, and do all of that. And so you would go to g6products.com and look at the different versions of Delta. And we've got some Delta Putt products that we're going to be giving away here. By the way, if you do come to the show, stop by the booth, 605. Enter our drawing. Doesn't cost anything. A lot of this stuff you see behind us, we're going to be giving away, like a pair of Squares golf shoes. We're going to be giving away this birdie ball putting green that's right next to us here. We've got some Snell golf balls, a big pack of those. 5 dozen, I think. Oh, and I see Dick Stevens coming down the way here. He's eating. He's always eating. But that's okay. Hey, the man was hungry. Have a seat.
Sorry, man.
That's okay. Ugh. Take a breath. You're all good.
Let me get my donut out of the way.
You got donuts?
Well, somebody gave me a voodoo.
You got voodoo donuts, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Looks good here.
I want you and Pete to do the show. I'm going to go find the voodoo donuts, man. This is Dick Stevens. He is the commander-in-chief at Varsity Communications, which puts on the Portland Golf Show, and also Seattle and St. Louis and Hartford. You got them all over the place. How's this show stacking up so far? We're only 3 hours in, but
this is the biggest show we've had here since the pandemic, exhibitor-wise. The amount of exhibitors and sponsors is our highest number since post-pandemic. We're expecting a really great weekend. The weather is awesome, so we're kind of fighting some of the golfers that want to play golf this weekend since it's been all crappy winter.
Yeah.
But we're going to be going strong, and tomorrow's Women's Day, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I talked to Monica Olson from works with the now they call it the Standard Tournament. That used to be the Portland Classic.
I'm so excited that they're here.
Oh yeah, and she's going to be on tomorrow talking about it because it's Women's Day. But we would talk to her even if it wasn't. But the point is there's lots of exciting things like that coming, and you do have a lot of new exhibitors, new faces. I've been doing this for 5 years now.
Yeah, there's nothing you guys don't know about the show.
Yeah, but it's perfect. When you put a show like this together, Dick, how much planning does it take? I mean, are you one of those events where you say 2 weeks after this show, I start the next year, I start 2026?
It takes, since we have 5 shows, we never really get a downtime from the last weekend in January to the last week in March, because there's an operation we're working on the Connecticut show, which is in 3 weeks from now, while we're here at this show. But after each show, we have kind of a post-mortem. How did it go? What was the gate attendance? Do we have any safety issues? And then, trying to get some feedback. And we make notes while it's still fresh in our mind, because all the shows are kind of similar in each market. They're also very different. And then what happens for us is probably around mid-April is when we do a really deep dive and looking at who's been renewed for next year, who do we want to bring back that's different or new. And then there's always some seasonality. When I say not so much seasons like the weather season, but there's seasons to this sport. And, where you might see a real in-swing of out-of-the-market destinations, we kind of check and see how those go so we can get into their planning. But the wheels start getting cranked up about August. We put our new packages together. We unveil the dates. And then we start the slow process. Some of these agreements were made 8 months ago.
Right.
Some of them were made 8 days ago to try to get that last booth in there. So it does take some time. And, I guess the best way to do it after doing 146 of these, it's like a giant quilt. And we want to stitch the right people in here to make the show work, both financially and from a production standpoint. So it's a process.
When you do that, and you've got, how many years is this show? I know you didn't originally start this show.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the regular show, but what is this, the 25th year you've been doing?
This is I think it's 24 or 25 for our company.
Yeah.
But it's the 31st year the show has been in existence since John Hines founded it in the gym at Portland State as a fundraiser because the golf team had no money.
Right.
And John Hines went to PSU and said, hey, we would like to put together an NCAA golf program. And they went through the accreditation. They said, hey, no problem. You get exactly $0 from the school. You have to go out and make money. So the reason the show exists is started as a fundraiser for PSU.
Last couple of questions here. What's your favorite part of this show? Now, if you've not been to the Portland Golf Show or one of Dick's shows, he's always walking around with the microphone, getting people to enter the putting contests and making, I won't say fun of people, but highlighting their personalities. I'll put it that way. How's that?
I think one of my favorite parts is that we do have all the brand new equipment that gets unveiled. I mean, the demo line is now turning into a testing and fitting zone. It's amazing to get 10 manufacturers all in one place at one time. A normal demo day at a driving range, you might get 250 people out there. That'd be a good demo day at a driving range. This is thousands of people trying this equipment. I like that. That's good for the sport. But my very favorite thing is just when you see people that are just starting, and if we're playing a small part in somebody creating a lifelong relationship with the game, whether it's junior day or women's day or just golfers who are new, that's my favorite part. It's old home week when we come here. We know so many people because we've been here so long, but to play a part in the sport that's endured a century in this market, it's like baseball, right?
Right.
It always reinvents itself. So we play our part in that.
Is there anything you personally actually purchase at these shows?
Oh yeah, I'm looking for a brand new 18-degree hybrid. So secretly in the the cracks and crevices of the time of the show, I'm going to demo probably 6 or 8, see which one sounds best to me. I know what shaft I want. I'm 56 with a bad leg, so I need to get that shaft's got to snap early for me. But I've got my eye on a couple. There's a PXG I'm excited about. There's a Zexio, XXIO brand I'm excited about. And then I am interested in a Callaway Elite maybe. I looked at one of those. Those are pretty cool. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm going to book a trip to Kaanapali. So I'm going to design a trip to Hawaii before I leave.
It's funny because my wife and I were in Hawaii Thanksgiving. And so when I walked by the gentleman out there, he's doing what everybody does, wants to get people into the booth, and he wants to hand me this bag. And I started laughing at it.
It's a nice bag, too.
It's a nice bag.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We had a half a suitcase when we came home from Hawaii from those bags from the ABC stores, because there was an ABC store virtually in the lobby of the hotel we were staying in. And every time we'd go, they'd give us another bag, right? So we have our storage closet at home has got a whole bunch of those ABC store bags.
Why there's not an ABC store in someplace besides Hawaii is beyond me.
They have everything, everything. And I'm surprised there isn't an ABC store within an ABC store.
That's right. I agree. It's a cool. Only Hawaii has the ABC store. I think the thing I want people to remember about the show is we are here to help pull the rubber band back for whatever that new year is, right? And before the pandemic, the sport always has been there. We've always had a good show in this town, but the sport was just really flat to growing 1 or 2%, 3%. And then we kind of lose some golfers. We gain some. The pandemic made it shoot up at an unrealistic, sustainable direction. now it's kind of found its spot again. And as many of these as I've done, I'm still learning what people want every year.
Right.
So after you do 5 shows and you see, 30 or 40,000 people, you get a sense of what it looks like for the coming year. And I'm starting to get a sense of what it looks like for the coming year. This is our 4th show.
It looks good. Dick Stevens.
Thank you for everything, Jeff.
All
right.
Go get another one of those voodoo jobs.
I'm going to. Thanks for everything you guys do.
No problem.
All right.
Appreciate it. We've got, who's this guy over here? Dave Grill coming up from G6.
Get up here.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Listen, when Dick and I start talking, I mean, you never know where it's going to go anyway. So come on in, sit down. This is Dave Grill from G6 Products, as we were talking about earlier, the Delta Putts. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. This is great, the show.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of traffic.
Yeah. It's when the doors open or the gates open, we're farm boys, right? So
Yes.
when the gates open, the herd came through.
Yes,
And
they
it
did.
didn't take a lot of prompting today.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
No, it's been great so far. We've been really busy.
How many of these shows, not just Portland, but I know you've done other ones, you've done the PGA show and stuff. How many do you think you've done?
Oh, man. I was just talking to Simon, and I think this is our 10th year here. But as far as, different locations and stuff, we've always done Portland, Seattle. We did the PGA show back in 2000. In fact, I think my wife and I introduced COVID to the Northwest because we were back there in
You
January.
might not want to lay claim to that, Dave.
Well, it's been long enough now. I can say that, but no, the shows. We're looking at maybe moving ahead. Idaho's got one, Colorado, Salt Lake. I mean, they're all getting into the golf shows, and we've got friends and family in a lot of those places. We're kind of looking at maybe in the future doing shows because they're really great. I mean, they give you great exposure.
Oh yeah.
Sales are usually pretty good.
Yeah, you actually sell at the show.
We sell at the show, and we introduced a new mat this show, which I talked to you earlier,
but you got to talk to them now. See
the what?
Tell them about the new mat.
Well, since we began, we had 2 versions. We had the 4.5 foot individual mat and then an 8 foot mat. Well, you know me. It only took me 10 years to figure out. A lot of people wanted the big mat but said it's just a little too big for my area. So the 10th year into it, we just went to a 6 foot mat, and everybody's like, "That's perfect." That's all we've been selling this morning.
Is it just you just needed a pair of scissors or what?
Well, we redesigned it, and it's got a gaming aspect to it, and then you can individually practice with it as well. Gives you a couple more feet, if you like to vary your stroke. So yeah, it's been great.
So I was telling him actually just before Dick came on the air here about Delta Putt. How would you describe it to people that physically can't see it right now, but you want to give them the best image of it?
Well, the magic sauce is in we call it the Delta puck, and it's a triangle puck. It's got obviously 3 sides that have a progressively more difficult side than the other. We call it amateur, pro, and tour. And it allows, if you're brand new, just learning to putt, stay on the amateur side and you can get it down the mat and then watch how it observes. But basically the side that you make your stroke on with your putter face, if that stays down your intended line, the center line, that indicates your stroke path. The lead triangle point it will be your face angle. So if you're right-handed and it rotates to the right, that would be an open club putter face.
Right.
Rotates left, you kind of hooked it.
Yeah.
Closed face. So it's simple physics is all it is. If you do this, the puck is going to do that, and the puck never lies. It tells you exactly what you're doing with your stroke every single time. So from a practice standpoint, you can go out and roll a golf ball in the hole and you might miss it right or hit it in the right edge. You kind of wonder, well, was that my stroke path or did I leave the face open? This tells you exactly what happens every putt. And if you're consistently doing something wrong, you can correct it. But probably more importantly, if you're doing everything right, it's telling you that too, because it's going to track it straight down your line. Then you just want to sit and repeat that stroke over and over. So when you get to the course, you're putting well.
Well, and the puck, as you call it, has three sides. It's a triangle, if you will, but each side is different.
Yes.
From kind of beginner to pro, if you will.
Yep. The tour side has a 1 degree margin of error. So if you strike the puck and you're more than 1 degree open or closed, the thing will spin like a helicopter blade down the line.
That would be me.
It is a challenge. I mean, it really exposes, any flaw you've got in your stroke.
And so, what about the other sides? I mean, the different degrees, and you get. Is there a little more leadway, if you will?
On the amateur side, the puck is designed. The protrusions on each side are the exact diameter of a golf ball, and the amateur side extends out more than, say, the tour side.
Right.
So and then the pro side is halfway in between.
So how did you come up with this?
Just trial and error. I used to be a pretty good golfer, and then kind of my golf went by the wayside. And then first thing that started to suffer was my short game. And in particular, my putting was so inconsistent, wasn't even funny. And I just figured, I got to find something where I can practice inside at night, or, had 3 kids and jobs. And so I just started messing around with it and finally came up with this version. We got it patented, and it was 100% trial and error.
Dave, I bet if you walk down and talk to any of these people in here, 85% of them would say, well, at one point I was playing pretty good, but then my short game went in the ditch, But that's true. So typical of everybody.
It is. And, everybody wants to go out and hit the big bomb with their driver. And
not me. I want to keep it between the navigational buoys, as they say.
Yeah, but what I found is I hate to go out to the practice green and practice putting. It gets boring after a while. You make 2 or 3 putts and they think, oh, okay, I'm good. But with the Delta putt, on a weekend or in an evening, I might be watching a game or watching the tour on TV. Every commercial break, you can get up and practice with this thing, throw it in your living room, hit, 20 putts, 30 putts.
But you got to put the beer down.
Well, no, you can practice one hand. You can keep the beer in your left hand too.
Okay. Well, you're the man you're the expert on this. I want to clarify for the listeners out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you said that, your game went short, south, east, and west, and then you came up with this. But how many times trial and errors did you have to make it before you got what's on the market now?
Actually, it went pretty quickly. I started out with just pieces of wood that I would cut on the bandsaw and see how they reacted.
Right.
And once I got, the triangle shape, I started out with flat pieces of wood. And then it's like, if I had a triangle, I would have like a lead point indicator, and it really didn't take that long. And then once I got the basic idea down, I had a kind of a second cousin to me, but he was really good on computers. So I called John and I said, hey, I need a CAD drawing of this thing I've invented.
Right.
So he put we sat down and I said, okay, let's do this, this, and this. And he drew it up. I took it in. It's an injection molded, really precision injection molded puck. So I went to a couple local injection molders and got some prices on the dies, and actually used local manufacturer out of Vancouver.
Good for you.
So that process, once I got the basic idea and how the thing would react, it came together pretty quick.
So last big question here. How much do you actually use it? I know you demo it a lot. But that doesn't count as actual practice.
believe it or not, I use it a lot. And I don't have to buy it, money out of my pocket. I put a lot of money to get it started. But I've got one in my office. I've got one in a drawer in my living room. I've got one in a drawer in my man cave. And I like to do it, the times I do sit down and watch something on TV, I'll get up literally every commercial and hit 20, 30 putts.
I have one in my office in a drawer, but I can pull it out.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can tell you about is you can practice with that, and you don't have to look good. And when I say don't look good, you can have on your ratty shorts and your crummy sweatshirt.
Absolutely.
And, you haven't shaved in 3 days or anything like that, and nobody cares.
I got to confess, I've used it in my underwear. I mean,
maybe that's okay. A little too much there, but no, that's no. But that was my point.
No, that is true.
Yeah, but all the products we have associated with this show, Delta is one of them. Is that there's a lot of golf products that come out every year. You do these shows, I do these shows, and you see them, and they're kind of I don't know. It's an idea, probably had some merit when it started. But the practicality of it isn't that sharp, right?
Right.
But all these products, Delta right there at the top, and Birdie Wrap and some of the other ones, they are all in the practical aspect of the golf game, something you can use to help you. They're not promising to make you Tiger Woods or Nelly Corda or anything like that, but it can help you individually. And that's one of the things I like about the products we have associated with the show.
No, I totally agree. I use the Rhymer.
Yeah.
That's a great little tool. And I can use that in conjunction with the Delta Putt, and that's mainly for, developing more consistency on my disc. I can take it back 7 inches.
Right.
So they're all very practical. You got to use them.
You got to use them.
But they will help you.
But there's no, bungee cords attached to your belt loop and a fish hook in your ear or
Absolutely
whatever.
not.
You don't have that like that. Yeah. Well, Dave, I hope you have a great show, my friend.
I appreciate it. It's always good to talk with you.
Dave Grill, G6 Products, Delta Putt. If you're at the Portland show, come see them. If not, where's your I'll look up your website here. Go to g6products.com.
Yes, sir.
And we'll do that.
Good talking with you.
It's nice to see you, Dave. I'll come over to see you.
All right.
Kelly will keep you in line over there, by golly.
Perfect.
All right.
I'll get out of here.
Next up, we have got Paul Herschel. I've met Paul once last year, just briefly when the show was over. You get busy and you can't. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Scoot up there a little bit. Yeah. Now, Paul is worth. I don't know. Why are you worth? Are you worth a lot today?
Question.
Yeah. But first tee
Yes.
of Portland, first tee of Oregon, all the first tees, and we got to get him to scoot up a little bit there. Is that better? Okay. First of all, how'd you get involved? And secondly, what does First Tee get out of a golf show like this?
So, how did I get involved with First Tee Oregon?
Yes.
So, I worked for 20 years in the sports talent agency business. I was a partner in a sports talent agency.
Sure.
And got to a point where I was really seeking a new challenge. I've always had a passion for golf. I grew up in Scotland, so I've been around golf really most of my life. And I have 2 boys, 8 and 11, so I've been around youth sports. And I was really looking to make a career change. I was in a position to sell our business, and was looking for something that had a little more meaning. And it turns out I live 10 minutes from the children's course in Gladstone.
Yeah.
And stars aligned that I could get involved in the children's course and First Tee, and it just has been a great fit.
You have somebody over there that I've known since she was little, Denise Townsend.
That's right, the famous Denise.
The famous Denise.
Yeah.
We were both came from another world, so to speak, in the horses. And
she speaks very affectionately of you in that time.
See, I bribed her when she was young, and she never forgot that. She's a great lady. Tell us more about what the First Tee does.
So the First Tee is now an international youth development organization,
Yes.
closely affiliated with the PGA Tour Foundation. It's a network of 150 chapters around the United States and internationally, all independent nonprofits. The through line is that everything that we do as a network is to positively engage kids and help them develop life skills and build character through the game of golf.
Right.
And so we have a range of programs for kids aged all the way from 5 to 18.
Now, the Campbell course, if you're not familiar with the Campbell course in Gladstone,
Yep.
They're on River Road.
Yeah, so the organization was founded by Duncan and Cindy Campbell back in 1996. And the course was originally founded as the children's course. And it was designed to be a safe and inclusive space for kids to have access to golf, but also the lessons that golf provides.
Right.
And the challenges and the opportunities of golf. Temporarily, the course was renamed to the Campbell course to honor Duncan and Cindy.
Right.
And this year, we have renamed the course back to its heritage, the children's course, as of January 1st. And that's also happened as we, as a First Tee chapter, have moved from First Tee Greater Portland to First Tee Oregon. So now we have the opportunity to engage kids around the state and also in Southwest Washington.
So if somebody's got a youngster,
yes,
and they'd like to get them involved in golf, no matter, I'm assuming it's still this way, it's no matter what their financial abilities are, they can come and kid can go through some basic programs to get involved with golf. But what can people expect when they, I mean, I'm sure they don't just drop them off at the front door, pin a $5 bill on them, and, say best of luck. So,
well, you'd be surprised. We love to host kids at the children's course. We also deliver programs at 7 other locations.
Yeah.
And our classes are formatted over 8 weeks. We deliver them 4 times a year. So it's a winter, spring, summer, and fall situation. And the classes are about an hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes in duration. And really what we focus on is really trying to teach kids life skills using golf as a platform. So, for example, we might talk to kids about, pre-shot routines, ways that you can stack the deck in your favor to have a more consistently positive outcome. But we might also talk to the kids about a post-shot routine. What happens when things don't go to plan? And we talk about that in a golf context, but we also give them tools that they can use outside of golf, whether it's in school or sports or.
Speaking of Denise, she just walked up here. What have you been able to teach her a few things, or she taught you a few things?
If you know Denise, you know she's beyond teaching. She's already she's the complete product already.
She is. She's been that way for a long time. That's why we love her so much.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the financial aspect of it. Yeah. How does First Tee survive?
So we are a donor-driven organization. As I mentioned, we're nonprofit.
Right.
So we rely on the generosity of individuals, of foundations, families. We have a strong grant program that Denise spearheads. We generate revenue from our golf course. Denise, in fact, says that the golf course is for kids of all ages, and that includes yourself if you'd like to join us.
I might be able to make it around that one. I'm not sure.
So we have people of all ages come and play, and the revenue that we generate from the golf course goes back to support the kids in our program. We have a very robust financial aid program where we believe strongly that kids should have the opportunity to participate regardless of their financial situation. So we will scholarship up to 100% of the registration fees for families in need. And we're also, through a generous club donation program, we're able to outfit kids with clubs if they need the support.
That's what I was going to ask about. I mean, did the executives for these tailor-made whatever down there, a lot of times they don't come. These are club fitters and demo guys here. But I'm sure you get a relationship with them at all levels to help out.
I think what's special about First Tee is that it's universally supported across the golf ecosystem.
Right.
And that relates to the manufacturers, the people in the equipment business. It relates to the people in the club business. Our programs are supported by generous facilities that give us space. Obviously, the children's course is our own facility. We control that. But we have programming at 7 other locations who are our dear partners. So we're fortunate that everyone tends to lean in and support the First Tee and our efforts to engage kids.
Is First Tee like a 501c3?
Yeah. So the First Tee is a network of 501c3s.
Okay.
So our organization, which is the children's course First Tee Oregon, is a standalone 501c3 nonprofit.
So Paul, you've been there for a while now.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the absolute, rate them 1 through 5, the best things that you see from First Tee and the results that you get?
I would say for me personally, the best thing about First Tee has been the people, has been the community of people.
Yeah.
We are a volunteer-driven organization. So in our high season, we will have perhaps 40 coaches, most of which are people giving up their time on evenings and weekends. And those people come from all walks of life. And they're people they love golf, but they're passionate about helping kids.
Right.
And our coaches do not have to be expert golfers. We equip them with the tools to help kids develop their golf game. But we're really looking for coaches that can be mentors and people that can help support these kids in becoming the best version of themselves. So for me personally, it has been the people that are involved in the organization. It's a real community. In terms of the output of the program, we last year had about 1,300 kids come through our classes and camps. So it's a significant impact in the state.
Right.
And we're excited now to be able to grow that outside of the Portland and Eugene area where we've had programs historically. So we've been able to extend that reach and that impact.
Well, you got a new building not that long ago.
We have a new building, couple years old, which is just a fabulous platform for us to grow. For the first time since the building, we've been able to host indoor classes in the winter.
Oh, cool.
Which has been great because traditionally that's been really challenging. And so that allows us to create opportunities for kids to remain engaged. Our classes are really designed to help make that 3 to 6 p.m. after school period a time that's productive,
right,
and a time for kids to grow. Whereas unfortunately in this age that we live in, often parents are working, they're both working. Sometimes the kids are unsupervised. Sometimes they're doing things that aren't so positive. So our classes
that would have been
around.
my generation.
Yeah. So the building has been huge from that perspective, and it just gives us a fabulous platform to grow the organization.
Do you work with like TrackMan or any of those?
So we have a partnership with Rapsodo across the network.
Okay.
And so we use their mobile flight monitors.
Yeah.
And we integrate those into our classes, and we can use those indoors or outdoors, and that works really well. But we're fortunate to have partners like Envision Golf, Tigard, who are fabulous, and they have the state-of-the-art golf zone technology there.
Yeah.
We have a deep partnership with Top Golf at Hillsborough, who are also aligned with First Tee nationally. So that's a fun experience for our kids as well. So there are lots of opportunities for kids to be indoors or outdoors.
So if somebody comes to the golf show, because there will be people in the local area listening to this podcast also, what can they expect when they come to the First Tee and maybe a kid has never picked up a golf club?
Yes. So our focus is on making sure kids have fun first and foremost. So it's about making it colorful and interactive. It's an activity-based program, so we try and spend less time talking to kids and more time having them learn through doing. And so you can expect to come and experience chipping and putting. We have inflatable alligator there who is hungry all day, and his favorite food is wiffle balls. So we encourage everyone to come and try and feed that guy. And then we have the oversized plastic clubs that we use indoors. There's a called Snag Club, starting new at golf, a great company. So you get a chance to use those. And we have some tennis balls that stick to targets. So it's intended to be a fun time, but also a time for parents to learn about our programs and figure out ways to get their kids involved in golf.
When you talked about that alligator, I was laughing because I thought, I did that in a bar one time, I think, but with a real alligator.
Well, it is next to the entrance to the Seafood and Wine Festival. So,
There you go.
Yeah.
If people want to help out, you just have a website or social media sites and all that stuff. And I'll tell you, folks, I'm doing this because it's not about me, but I help a lot of kids through tournaments every year.
Okay.
And I live kind of far away from the First Tee, but I'm really supportive of them in
Thank you.
outside ways, but
Yeah.
like knocking over my microphone. But the point is, how can people, maybe contact you? Find
Yep.
the birdie balls are falling down. How can they find you, Paul?
So firsteoregon.org is the
Okay.
website. There you'll find information about the First E program and all the other offerings that we have, which do include summer camps. We have 13 summer camps in the summer. The programs are 8 different locations around Portland, Eugene. We're a site for the girls golf program, the LPGA USGA girls golf program. We have a caddy academy for kids that are 14 and older. We help train kids to caddy, and we help place them at country clubs.
That can help with the Evans Scholarship too.
So we're closely aligned with the Western Golf Association, the Evans Scholars, which is a fabulous opportunity for kids that are 14 and older. So there's a lot of different options, so parents can navigate that through the website, and they'll find ways to contact us, and we're happy to answer questions.
Yeah. Well, it's been a real delight to talk to you again.
Thank you.
It's been a year, I guess, since I spoke with you. And last year we got to speak for about 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
it was very good. And I'm so glad that the Campbell course is just doing well. And that new building, I've seen it.
Well, please come and see us again.
I will. I might bring you some presents. Like
Okay.
something you might just sit here with me because we're almost done with the show. But that's not the right one. That's our prize giveaway. But the other one, we've got 3 tournaments you can see behind me.
Okay.
It's called the North Valley Challenge, and they're played at the OGA, Willamette Country Club, and Langdon Farms.
Yeah.
And we're raising money for these different organizations, the chambers of commerces in those areas, the Woodburn High School golf team, which we had to separate it out from the high school itself because of some of the donors we get.
Okay.
You can't run like wine donations through that. Okay, so we separated that out like that. But this year, in these 3 tournaments, a couple of my friends got together with me and we created this thing, and we are helping the actual tournaments by guaranteeing them some operational money.
Okay.
And then the challenges on top of that, it's a FedEx points type system.
Cool.
You got to play in all 3
that's great.
tournaments and all that. And some of those donations will find their way back to First Tee.
That's amazing.
I'm
Thank you so
blathering on about
Yeah.
that, but I wanted to get that in there for you. So,
Well, I'm a member at Willamette Valley myself, and I can tell you that the club is very happy to support the Canby Chamber of Commerce and is dedicated to supporting the local community there.
So how does it stack up against the courses in Scotland?
Well, it's a different experience.
Yeah.
You know, Scotland doesn't have a lot of beverage carts or cart paths, or sometimes green grass in the summer.
Right.
But the golf community here is special, but very different culturally to what it is in Scotland. And I enjoy it a lot, and I also enjoy going back to Scotland. So there's my answer.
So I got a story to tell you real quick. We got a couple minutes for it. What do we got? Like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, or 8 minutes? Okay. Well, we got some time then. My dad was a soldier in World War II.
Yeah.
And he was, before he went to France and all that, he was in the London area. A lot of them were
Staging area.
Staging areas. Yeah. But on some time off, he took the train and went to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And I have as you know, Denise and my, history, horses. And I have a breast collar from the Glasgow Police Department.
Okay.
And it's got the big emblem on the breast collar there. So I'm trying to figure out a way that I can go on a golf trip to Scotland, but I want to give that back to the people of Glasgow.
Yeah.
Because it's a real cool thing, and I doubt if there's too many of them around it.
Yeah.
So you might have to help me with that. Give me some,
some
travel tips.
One of my favorite things to do is to talk about Scotland. So
let's talk about Scotland.
Well, the thing about Scotland is that there is a list of golf courses that are very well known to American tourists, and they are on a bucket list. And those courses have become exponentially more expensive because of that demand and popularity.
Right.
But there is a large number of golf courses that sit under that tier of open rota courses, or even Royal Dornoch, which is a world-renowned course, not on the open rota, but there are many, many courses that sit below that tier that you can access at fairly short notice for a fraction of the price, and the local membership will be stoked that you're there because you're helping to keep their dues under £500 a year for unlimited golf. And so you can expect a lot of hospitality, both of the liquid and non-liquid kind. And I just tell everyone,
no haggis.
yeah,
No haggis. Come on now.
it's an underrated breakfast item, along with black pudding.
Black pudding, I'll do.
Yeah. But I tell everyone, like, when you go to Scotland, certainly if it might be your only time, go to St Andrews, knock off some of the bucket list courses.
Right.
But don't be afraid to impulsively go off the beaten track a little bit, because there are a large number of golf courses in Scotland that are not well known outside Scotland.
Well, it's not that dissimilar to like Bandon too.
Yeah, Bandon is fabulous.
You know, but you got Bandon, and you got the Sheep Ranch, you got Pacific,
yeah,
you got all this stuff, and as you work your way up the Oregon coast, there's some. You get to Gerhardt.
Gerhardt's great as well.
Like
absolutely,
and then you've got some other ones like you know, Chinook Winds. Kevin over there has been doing a phenomenal job the last couple of years, and those are all people. Those aren't first blush thoughts to people when they come to the Oregon coast.
Right.
And that's very similar to what you're talking about in Scotland. But there's some great courses. But who invented Gorse?
Gorse?
Yeah.
Gorse, some malicious person who didn't think about the consequences.
Yeah.
And if you ask people that know the history of Bandon, they'll tell you about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just think that's an evil thing.
Yeah. Well, it was imported here by from homesick Scotsmen who I think planted it in southern Oregon, and it got away from them and caused a rather serious fire.
Why couldn't we drink more single malt and not come up with that?
Well, I think they probably did. That might have been part of the problem.
So do you get back there very often?
I try and get back there every year. It gets more difficult just with family and work schedule and everything else. I do. We're going back actually in a month. So I'll be in Scotland for about a week, and then I'll be in London for a wedding. And so I'm looking forward to that. Still have my family there, and so
good for you.
Yeah,
good for you, man. It's good. What's one thing? Let's jump back to first tee before I let you go for a minute. What's one thing you would like to see? Not just your local chapter of First Tee Oregon, but nationally. But let's focus first on what you're doing. What would you like to see something happen or accomplished that you're working on but hasn't happened yet?
Well, I think the transition to First Tee Oregon was a vision that we had last year, and it's been, I think, a long time in making for the organization. So I think for us, we really want to be that place that people think of in Oregon as the place that kids can get affordable access to golf,
right?
And a place to get their kids not only started in golf, but also a place for their kids to develop in golf. And we have programs that help kids excel as competitive golfers. But our priority is to help kids become the best version of themselves. So if that's just becoming a person that enjoys golf the rest of their life, great. If it's something where they want to lean in and go to college and play golf, then that's great too.
Yeah.
But it's all about helping these young people gain confidence and be able to set and pursue goals, and also be able to overcome the things that don't go well along the way, because that's life.
That's a lot of life right there. How's your game, by the way?
My game is non-existent at this time of the year. I sit in front of some beautiful windows that tease me every day with a golf course that is either drenched in rain or incompatible with my calendar.
Well, it's, I get that. It's I'm due back on the course here in a few weeks. I had to go in the body shop again and get a new hinge put in, but now I think I'm good. I think we'll go forward.
See how it affects your ball flight.
Yeah. That's not exactly the way my wife put it, but that's okay. Can people come to the course and look around in the building?
Absolutely. We are glad to see people 7 days a week. We also, I didn't mention, we have a very robust club donation program.
Yes.
So we accept used golf equipment that's donated, and we repurpose that equipment for the kids in our program. And then for the equipment that maybe is out of size or spec, we'll sell the stuff that's saleable, and that helps fund the programs. So we encourage people to visit the golf course, check it out, come and play around. It's only $18 for a round, $12 for a senior. So it's very inexpensive and very low stress.
I love it, Paul. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
It's been a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll stop by.
Yeah, come by and feed the alligator.
Yeah.
We would love it.
I thought you were gonna say, let's come by and feed the nieces. I did that when she was a kid, so it's all good. Yes, come by. Come over to the First Tee booth if you're actually here in Portland at the Expo Center. We're open till 5:00 today, I
Yeah.
believe, and then 5 and 4 the next couple days.
One last thing. We love the birdie balls. We use them in our programs all the
Yeah.
time.
Here, I'll give you a spare. How's
Thank
that?
you so much.
Yeah, they're good. John's always been very supportive
Yeah.
of things like that. It's all good. So anyway, I'm gonna bring this guy in right there.
Perfect.
Finish out the show. He doesn't
All
know
right.
it, but I'm gonna do it to him.
Thanks
I'll
again.
come by and
It's
see
good
you,
to see you.
Paul. Nice to see you. Next up is an old friend of mine, Jeff Mitchell. If you're from the Portland area, you would recognize his voice. Rock and roll guy, news, traffic, and weather guy. We worked together at a couple different radio stations and stuff.
A few.
A few.
Was not expecting this.
I know. That's why I caught you off guard. And we had, 5 minutes left to fill or something? 4 minutes? 2 or 3?
Okay.
Anyway, like
What shall we talk about?
the golf show. What's your perception of the golf show so far?
I like it. It's good. Yeah. Everything okay?
Yeah.
No, I mean it seems like it expands. It's growing every year.
Yeah.
Seeing some different booths, different vendors. A lot of representatives from resorts I'm noticing this year. A lot of different destination type places
Right.
are being represented this year. And that's great because this is the time to start planning those vacations and those out of town golf outings.
I noticed my wife never volunteers to come to the golf show. If it was a home and garden show and stuff, she'd right there with me. But when it's the golf show, she has nothing. She loves it when I go play golf. I think so she didn't have to put up with me, But yeah, I like that. And I think, Jeff, that you haven't been here for a couple of years because you
Right.
came right after COVID. We saw each other here.
Right.
And that, but it has expanded. A lot of new vendors here. And I think that's good. We're right across from Redtail. And for those folks not listening in this part of that live in this part of the country, Redtail is the retail aspect of Progress Downs, or what used to be called
Yeah.
Progress Downs.
Yeah.
Right. Big golf course owned by the city of Portland. But this is a huge retail center, and they always bring, they've got thousands of clubs over there and hundreds of pairs of golf shoes and all the stuff you could possibly want.
This, in the years that I've come to the golf show, and I think, as you said, I haven't been here in a couple of years, but I've been here, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Were they here last year in the same spot?
Yes.
This is the biggest retail area
in the
I
show.
remember seeing at any of the shows I've been
Right.
to.
Yeah.
They got a lot of space.
They've expanded because last year it was, well, you can't see it, folks, but where the entrance is, where those people are standing there, that was the line, so to speak, but they've expanded that over there. It used to be a company out of Eugene called Fiddler's Green would
Mhm.
come up, and they kind of did it. And when they started doing their kind of own show down in Eugene, Redtail stepped up more, and it's really good. And there's other big retailers here too, but that's the biggest site right there. So if people are coming to the show, there should be something here that you should be able to find.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
There's obviously there's apparel, there's shoes,
Right.
every club you can think of.
Yep.
And as well as vendors that will help you improve your game. If you're trying to improve your swing, they'll analyze your swing for you, give you pointers. We got simulators. I mean, it's everything
Yeah,
is here.
Very cool. And probably one of the most important things, I don't know if it's right behind me still. Aha. The pepperoni
We got the
guys are-
pepperoni.
we
The
got
pepperoni guys here.
right here. I don't know. Can you see that? See that, Pete? Can't see it? Oh, you can see it? Yeah. You need to come and get one of these. That's some of the best stuff in the world. It is. It really is. It's what is it? Ben's Nuts or Dan's Nuts or something down there, whatever. I don't know the name of it, but it's very good. Anyway, there's something here for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So
and we're getting into look at the weather we had yesterday.
Yes.
And today.
Yes.
I mean, if you're not thinking about golf, you
perhaps are brain dead and should
You
check
know,
into a
I mean,
facility.
we're getting into that peak season. It's coming around if you need to upgrade your set of clubs, or if you're looking for a whole new set of clubs,
It's all here. It's all here.
It's all here at the Portland Golf Show.
I think we're getting out of here, aren't we? We're about done. Doesn't matter because we're not on any time constraints. But I think that's going to be a wrap today. Tomorrow we'll have who we got tomorrow coming up here? We've got the Amateur Golf Association. We've got them from the new standard. Portland Classic is coming up. We've got several people like that talking about their shows, what they're doing in their booths. We've got my old friend Todd Hansen down here with Click Gear. He'll make an appearance this weekend. So we've got a lot of folks coming in, some new stuff, some fun things. And we'll tell you more about the North Valley Challenge and all that. If you come by the booth, all you got to do is do the QR code. You're good to go. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Again, we want to thank the folks supporting this West Media in Gresham, Oregon. Birdie Ball from Evergreen, Colorado. John Breaker and his family back there. These are these little guys, if you don't know that, right there. Go to birdieball.com there. Snell Golf Balls, we've got them around. You can see them behind us here. Carsley Golf, home of the Reimer, which is what Dave Grill was talking about. That's kind of a cool thing. Birdie Wrap, Jason and the gang up in Seattle, like that. And, of course, Delta Putt. Dave Grill on that from G6 Products. We thank them all for being with us today and supporting the show. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock, right here on Grilling at the Green, streaming live from the Portland Golf Show.